Okay, in a second, I'm going to count to 3 and then clap. And then when you clap with me if you can, or like as close as you can.
Okay.
1,
Okay.
2, 3. Perfect. Brianna, welcome back.
You for
I
having
am
me
so
again.
sad and so destroyed that last recording did not take. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't test it at all. I was just like, I'll just hit the record button and then we'll have a great conversation and that'll be it. And we had a great conversation. It was
It
amazing.
was
It was
great. We had so
lovely.
many good
I know we
topics.
talked about everything, and then I looked at the right afterward. I looked at the recording, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Brianna's voice came in really nice, and then I'm looking for mine, and it's just not there. So I have
He was
this
like, "Oh snap!
I have
What did
this
I do?"
huge conversation of just you talking to nobody. So
Beautiful. Just
luckily,
my voice on.
luckily this time it should be fixed, and that won't be a problem. But holy shit, that was
That's
insane.
okay. It's gonna be better this time.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, Brianna, you are how old? Because I forgot.
I'm 21.
21 years old. The best, probably the worst time, like we were talking about, to turn 21.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Let's share that one. Oh my God. So I turned 21
Mm-hmm.
a week after the lockdown
Global
started. Like
pandemic.
I was so literally, and like, yeah, and we're already into 2021, and we all know pandemic's still gonna be
Oh,
happening
lovely.
in March. So I'm like, literally, I'm not the whole year being 21.
Uh,
Didn't go to a single freaking bar or
no,
club or
no. And you
nothing.
were
I'm
waiting
just
so
like,
long for this moment.
and it bugged the shit out of me too because I have mostly older friends and all of
Mm-hmm.
them are like, just wait, Brie, like you're so close,
Mm-hmm.
like because they were all be like, oh, we're going out, Brie, you coming
Hell yeah.
with? And they're like, oh, JK, haha. Just they're like soon,
Dude,
soon. And
what's
I'm like,
the
okay, I'm waiting,
what's this?
waiting, and I planned a big old birthday thing, and then I came, and now look where we're at. I'm like, fuck.
What's the scene like it in San Francisco? Is it fun for like clubs and
Yes,
stuff?
it's very fun. So I did actually get like a little taste of the bars and the things and the stuff in the city because where I worked at a previous job I worked right next to a bar, and so and all the bar owner like let all my coworkers in all the time, so I just came in with my coworkers one day and then they never carded me once, and then I'm
Perfect.
friends with the bartender,
You pull it off really well.
all the bar bouncer, the owner, they all know me. They've never once carded
Yeah.
me. They all think I'm 22 or
Yeah,
23 or
you
something.
could
So I'm
pass.
going through those nights.
Yeah, you passed mid 20s easy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like so then yeah, then like the whole neighborhood kind of knew me from where my job was.
Mm.
So bars usually didn't question me. They're just like, oh, like hey, just let me
It's
on in. And I
nice.
was like, cool.
It's nice to
So
know
I got a
people.
little yeah, or like if I have friends that are like tight with the bouncers or tight with the people in the clubs, I was able to get into a few places and stuff and like before COVID all
Mm,
hit, before I was actually 21. So I'm glad I got a little taste of it.
mm,
But no, it's really cool. Like it's so different. Like you can go like there's so many different vibes and because like there's the
mm-hmm.
mission, you can go dance some Latin music, you can go
Ooh.
to like the cool like hip like futuristic bars in downtown and shit,
Mm.
or like the Castro has all the gay bars, which is what I was like excited about.
San Francisco is known
But
for them, I
yeah,
bet.
so there's just a bunch of yeah, and it's awesome. And then like where I worked in the marina, and it was a very like high end kind of bougie
Bougie.
vibe, but it was cool. Yeah, it's really
It's
cool.
nice to surround yourself with as many like different locations as you can. Like get like both
Right?
the
Yeah,
bougie side
yeah.
of San Francisco and the not bougie side is nice. I bet.
hmm
Mm.
Yeah, I went to and they have like an 18 club too, and
Mm.
it's like a famous like club, like all the up and comers like from the Bay Area in the rap scene,
Mm.
like GED and what's his face? I just was listening to him earlier. Oh, Marky Basie. Like they all those people that came from the Bay Area, they all like performed at this place called City Nights at least once, and like
Mm.
it's like anyone who lives in the city has to go there at least once,
Mm.
but it's also nicknamed as Shitty Nights because it's really trashy. There's always a fight, and there's
Love it.
40-year-olds trying to hit on 18-year-olds, and it's like really kind of trashy and like whatever.
Yeah.
But I went to the like it's like a rite of passage being like a college student. Like every college student has gone at least once to Shitty
Well,
Nights.
fuck yeah.
But
Any
no.
live
So I
show is
got to go
fun.
to clubs a little bit and some bars and things a
Mm.
little bit. Got a taste of it. I wanted to stay in San Francisco and like for to experience all the 21 things and then
Mm.
leave. But I mean
That
now that's not
sucks.
happening.
But hey, at least you got like a good taste of it, and you had
Yeah,
plenty of
I
fun
had a
before
good
you were
taste.
21. It sounds like.
Yeah, I had plenty enough fun before I was 21. So
So you live in San Francisco now, and you moved from Yuba City.
yeah, Yuba
Yeah.
City.
Did you
Born and
like Yuba
raised.
City? Yuba City.
His nickname was Yuba Shitty. No, I don't. I do not like.
Yeah.
I like it because of the memories. It's my
Yeah. That's where
hometown,
you live.
but I also just hate the whole dynamic there. It's very
Small
conservative,
town.
very small-minded,
Hmm.
like traditional type of small town, and I'm very not any of those things. And
Do you call
and
yourself?
I just
Would you call yourself more of a city girl
um
now?
yeah. So like what I say is I'm a city girl with like a country heart. You know what I
That's
mean?
cute. Yeah, I like it.
Like I prefer city things, but I'm also very simple, like and down to earth, like a
Right.
country girl.
Right.
And I enjoy like nature a lot, and I
Mm.
love like stuff like that. Like so, like I say, a city girl
Mm.
with a country
I don't. I don't
heart.
understand when people don't like to go on hikes through nature. It's so beautiful.
I love
It's
nature.
gorgeous.
Yeah, and I want to go. So like to do, I want to go do more. Like I
Yeah.
want to go to like the national
Or
parks,
the
like
redwoods in
Yosemite
San
and
Francisco is supposedly
stuff.
beautiful.
It is actually really, really pretty. There's a waterfall in San Francisco. Did you know
I
that?
didn't
There's a
know that.
waterfall. Yeah, I stumbled upon it and I was like, wow.
That sounds beautiful. Is it like in the middle of the city or is it like at the edge?
It's in Golden Gate Park.
Okay.
So it's a man-made one, but still it's a
Right.
fucking waterfall in San Francisco. Like
Closest
and
thing
it's
to a
really
waterfall you're
pretty.
gonna see in San Francisco, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, there's actually so much nature in the city, which surprised me a lot because I was actually nervous about that moving to the city
Mm.
because I was like I was never been in that
Mm.
vibe before, and I was like, I'm gonna feel like concrete jungle, like claustrophobic. I don't know, but no, there's so much nature there. There's
Yeah.
over 200 parks there,
Mm.
and yeah, and Golden Gate Park is freaking huge. There's beaches, there's everything.
Mm.
Like there's so much nature there that you wouldn't even expect. And I'm like,
Mm.
there's so many places you can go and be surrounded by trees and not see a single building.
Mm.
Like, and it's which you wouldn't expect because there's skyscrapers and shit.
Right.
But like, it's great. I'm just like, so whenever I get overwhelmed by this concrete jungle, I like go to
Escape
my
into
little
nature.
nature spots and
Yeah.
I like kind of just like chill for a sec and like
That sounds super nice. I always forget that there's a bunch of parks in cities, you know?
There's like a lake here too.
Dude,
There's a
fuck yeah.
lake
Dude,
in San Francisco.
I live in Monterey, so it's like kind of a fake city. It's beautiful, but it's like a fake city. You know what I mean? There's not really
Yeah.
any skyscrapers. There's like one, and it's a hotel, and of course, by the beach. It's like a retirement community.
It's a beach city.
Yeah, it's a beach city. It's like it's beautiful. It's right by
Not like
Pacific Grove, so it's got some beautiful scenery. But
I love Monterey.
I love the fog. It's one of those things that
I hate fog.
I suppose you hate fog because it's San Francisco, but here in
Yeah,
here it
dude,
stops
fucking
at Pacific
Carl.
Grove, so it doesn't quite get to us. So I get to see how beautiful it is and never experience it.
Oh yeah, where I live too. So like Daly City it's a city it's the city that borders San Francisco on like the like southern side. Yeah, because there's like it's like has the peninsula.
Huh?
So it's the city that borders the southern side, and it's Daly City. Its nickname is the city of fog because the fog rolls in so fucking heavy all the time. And I don't know if you know this, but this fog has a name here in the Bay Area in San Francisco. His name is Carl, and literally it's
Carl
Carl
the
the
bitch.
Fog. Carl the Fog has his own Instagram, and yeah.
And he comes
I
hot and
have
heavy
such
often.
a hatred for Carl the Fog. Like I hate fog. I'm not about it.
You're a sunny girl.
Yes, I didn't realize how much of a hot weather person I was until I fucking moved here. Like, because I was like, that's fine. It's a little colder, like whatever. But then I actually missed the feeling of sun on my skin. And I never experienced that before. I was like, I miss like warmth. Like what?
When you
Yeah,
walk
I
outside and
realized
your skin feels good. Like that feeling.
Yeah, like that,
Yeah,
just
like
the
soaking
sun,
it in,
like
yeah.
vitamin D, like, and you literally physically cannot possibly naturally get tanned here. Like you would have to be outside every single day it's sunny, and you still wouldn't even get that tan. Like you have to go to you know what I
You have to
mean?
go
Like,
somewhere else.
and
Yeah.
I'm the pastiest I've ever been. Like literally,
Uh,
you can't tell I'm Filipino at all. I'm too white.
Go to get some.
But
I
tell.
know you really can. I can't even see it. So you moved to San Francisco mainly for what reason?
For
For
college.
college.
And yeah, I went to I went to SF State and I dropped out
Hmm.
for financial reasons a
Hmm.
year and a half in. And yeah,
And
but
you've
then
been
I've been
living
working
life.
full time since then and it's been
Hmm.
great. I feel like I'm becoming an adult
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah, this I think we talked about it last time that didn't record like our experiences with school and stuff, and it's like sometimes it's really nice to not have to do school for a while. And
Yeah,
like
like when I wasn't expecting to not be going to not to be like stopping school.
mhm.
And then it was really sudden. I was like, oh shit, like I can't do school this next semester. And it was like a few weeks away.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh. So I was like, and then so I was like, wait, like I don't have
Some
a school
freedom.
schedule.
Mm.
And I had this realization. I was like, I've lived my whole 18 years
Mm.
or 19 years or whatever on a school schedule. Like
Mhm.
I've never had a whole year just to do what with that I want.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I was like, hmm.
Yeah.
And I just like I was like, wow. I was like, and then I had my whole first year, and I was like, dude, this is great. I
Yeah.
was like, not about the school right now.
Yeah. Discover self better, you know?
Yeah, and I pushed my boundaries, like,
Mm.
and I like figured out like what I can, I like
What do you think was the biggest change since coming to San Francisco for you? Like, what are the couple biggest changes that have gone in your life?
well, so I'm a quite a different person from compared to before.
Mm.
Like I came to San Francisco, like I don't even relate to the person I was before. Like I don't even recognize the person I was before. And like you could ask anyone in my family and they'll say the same thing. Like because well, first of all, I lost a bunch of weight. I lost like 40, 50
And you
pounds my
look
first year in
gorgeous.
college. Thank you. Thank you. It's the first time I've ever bought medium anything. I've never worn medium clothes in my life until these last couple years. And
Mm.
it's been like I was like
It's a good
I
feeling.
got so excited. But and then also I didn't come out until I came to the city.
Mm.
And that was 100% on purpose because as I had mentioned, very conservative, very
Mm-hmm.
traditional, closed-minded town. So I was not about to come out in that really small town where everyone knows everybody, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited till I moved here to like the queerest city in America.
Like
Um,
actually,
you literally
rivaled only by Portland.
right. And yeah, and then I didn't know anyone here, so and I didn't want to do that whole coming out thing, so I just literally just introduced myself and that as like and that as that was part of me is like, oh yeah, I'm bi. Like I that was just part of
Mm.
my introduction of myself. Like I didn't have to come out to anyone.
And you probably got
So that
like
was
no
like
pushback for it.
yeah, that was like the biggest change. So like once I was able to do that, my personality just finally was able to like I was finally be able to be who I wanted to be without the judgment of my family being so close and the judgment of my hometown being so close
Mm.
because I wanted to experiment and I wanted to just like and just be myself in somewhere where I felt like accepted and had a community, which
Mm-hmm.
was here. So and then yeah, I came out of my shell. I turned from an introvert to an extrovert.
Lovely.
Like oh my gosh, I had a whole ass moment like 2 years into moving here. I was just hanging out with some friends and one of them was just like, oh my god, Brie, you're such an extrovert. Like I don't remember what we were talking about, but they said like, oh, you're just such an extrovert. And it was literally the very first time that anyone has ever told me I was an extrovert. Like because I
Mm.
was an introvert, I was really shy. I was like I was quiet. I was introverted when I was younger before I moved here. And it was like such a moment for me. I almost cried. I was
Mm.
like, oh my God, like I finally am to that point where I wanted to be. Like I've always wanted to be an extrovert and a people person. And I'm finally like there
Mm.
and I'm very like articulate with like, and I'm just like, yay.
Mm.
And like my whole family sees it too. They're all
Yeah.
like, you seem so much happier. You seem like your most authentic self. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, like this is literally
That's what I
the
said last time
most
for sure.
free that it's going to be. Like, this is
Mm.
me.
I love seeing someone that like takes on the mantle of a more authentic self. It's like you can just see them
Mhm.
beaming with happiness, and it's like maybe that they're not always
Yeah.
this way, but at the same time, right now they strike me as more them than they've ever been, and it's beautiful. It's
Mhm.
gorgeous. It's like I wish that I could always grasp what that kind of person has. Have you seen The
Mhm.
Producers, the movie?
No.
Okay, watch The Producers. It's an amazing movie.
On
2005.
Netflix?
Yeah, I think so. 2005. That
What's it
version.
about?
And there was an original one with Gene Wilder, the guy who played Willy Wonka, and he was great too. But this other one has the people who played Simba from The Lion King and Timon from The Lion King, and those are the two main characters in it. And to
Cool.
me, it shows a version of yourself of like taking on the mantle of being the most authentic self you could be. There's like this scene of they go to this house and they meet the person who owns the house, and bam, it shoots to the top of the stairs, and it's a man in a dress being the most genuine, lovely, beautiful, fantastic person I have ever seen in cinema. And he just owning themselves to such a degree where it's like, I don't know what to do. I just want to be in the same room as you for as long as you'll let me, because I just want to see
Like,
you kill it. I just want to
those
see you be
people that
you.
like just
Yes.
that just have that energy.
Yes.
You know, like when those people that you can automatically tell they just give off that energy,
Yeah.
and like when they walk into a room, like you could feel it. Like I've always
Yes.
wanted to be that type
Yes.
of person. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
And for whatever reason, that's like, I don't know if it's unique to the gay community, but it's certainly a hardcore like point of the gay community. You be yourself. You be whoever you want to be,
Yeah.
because you are whoever you say you are. And that's
Yeah,
beautiful. I
exactly.
love it. I just love it. I love that you can genuinely take on the mantle of a more truer
Yeah.
self.
I realize, like, you know how like I don't know if it's the same for you, but when growing up, like I always realized, like I always noticed that like me and my siblings, we acted different around each other
Mm-hmm.
than we did around our friends or like in public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know how like you're just like a little more weird with your siblings,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when you're at home and stuff. But then I was always really different, and I was more outgoing and like seemed more extroverted at home with my siblings than I was ever like out in public. But then now I realized in college that like that person I was at home became that person who I am all the time. Like the person I am with my family, who are the people I'm most comfortable with, is the person I am all the time now. And like because I got to that level of like confidence to be able to be like that all the time, because before I was like, oh, I'm weird. I'm like, no, people aren't gonna like me. But now I'm like kind of like, hey, this is me. If you don't like it, whatever.
Right.
Bye.
Right. Like you shouldn't
And it's like,
you shouldn't have to put on a persona for people.
exactly. And coming to the city helped me with that so much, because I didn't know anyone. So I could be whoever I wanted to be. So I just like, even though I was nervous about being outgoing, I like just started acting like I was outgoing right off the bat, because nobody knew the difference. Because if I just started acting outgoing in my hometown, everyone would be like, why are you acting different? You know, like they'd call me out.
Judgy.
So my whole plan was like, hey, just go and just start. I don't like act like the person you want to be, and then like, you know, and we'll all get there. And it happened. And I was like,
yeah, act like the person you want to be. Act like your ideal. Right? That's beautiful.
Nobody knows the difference.
Yeah.
If I'm just like all eccentric AF the first time they meet me, they think that's me. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love those stories. I feel like everyone at some point struggles with, like, I guess this is kind of an identity thing, you know?
Identity thing. Yeah, it's definitely been a huge identity transformation in the last few years.
I think we were talking about it last time, and it seems like everyone in our family at some point has had kind of a similar thing, where it's like an identity crisis. What are you going to do with yourself now? Like, now that you get to choose how you want to be, now that you know that you can choose, how are you going to live your life? I was talking with Taylor last time, and she was talking to me about how she had some struggles when she's stopped doing dance, and that was really interesting. And then now she's dedicated herself to medical student, so that's really cool. And Sammy had some falling out in high school, as well as and then she got married, and it was really interesting, her story as well. And me, I failed college, so that was interesting. You know,
I was surprised as fuck as that too. I'm like, oh, Brainiac Jordan Jacob over here, and I was like, whatever. And then I heard you failed, and I was like, what?
Okay, so here's the thing. So first of all, I could have done good at engineering. I could have done it. But the problem was that I never wasn't in it. My heart, when your heart isn't in it and you don't really understand that's the reason, then you just kind of go along with things until you realize that you're grinding your heels in and not doing something that you're supposed to, because you don't want to do that thing. I never
Yeah.
wanted to do engineering. I did engineering because I got into school for engineering. And when it comes to that thing, a 4-year degree is 4 years of your life that they hardcore set. Here's what you're going to do for 4 years of your life. There's no chance you can change this. And that pressure was so much to me that I would rather watch like shitty shows on my own or play a stupid game than do the homework or go to the classes. And that was my mistake, and I know that was a bad thing to do because of, money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. I'm glad I'm not in school for engineering, because at this point in my life, I'm looking at it, I'm like, engineering would have been a good job, but it's not what I want to do with my life. It's not what I don't want to have the hardcore everyday math, everyday grind. I don't want to do that.
No.
So I'm happy.
Honestly,
and then I met Piper because of it. So, and that
now
was
that you like, honestly, I kind of the same thing for me with college. Like, I didn't really want to go to college. I went to college because that's what people do after high school is you go to college. And like, it was kind of my ticket out of my hometown. Like, because I told people for years, I'm like, I am leaving as soon as possible. Like as soon as after graduation hits, like, I am out. And like, that was my attainable way to like leave. So and to like be kind of set up somewhere and make friends, you know what I mean? So, but then like, that's why when I got into college, I was like not into it. I was so burnt out from high school because I like killed myself in high school trying to get good grades all the time. And I was just so burnt out. I was like, nope. And I was like, started failing classes, and I had never gotten below like a C before. And I was like, dude, I was like, I'm not even in it. And then I got financial troubles with my FAFSA and stuff. And then I had to stop anyways. And I was like, you know what? It's for the best. Like, I'll go back to school when I actually want to go back to school.
When there's a subject that you want to study. Like,
like I want to learn. You know what I mean? But
and we all get
like,
there at our own pace.
I felt like I was going because I had to, and I didn't want to go.
It's so weird that like the streamline getting kids out of high school and putting them into college is so common that our story is like actually the majority. I'd say. It seems like most people start college, maybe get an AA, and then don't do anything else with it. If they did that
That's
much.
why 4-year colleges have such a high dropout rate.
Yeah.
Because like,
dude,
people go because they think they have to, and then they drop out or they fail out. Like because they don't want to be there. Like it's hard.
I remember,
and like that's why you see so many adults in all these college classes.
No blame on any of the faculty there, but there was one time when I actually went to the engineering professor, and I actually told him like, hey, I'm not doing so well, and I actually think I want to leave the engineering program. And I actually told him that I actually think it would be best for me to leave the engineering program or transfer to a different program. And this was a year that they were having, for some reason, amazingly good results with how many people were staying in the engineering program, because usually they would have like halfway through the year, half of the students would drop out. But this year, for whatever reason, nobody dropped out. Not like 2 people dropped out. And out of like, and so it was unheard of at the time. And I think that what they were trying to do is they were trying to keep as many people in as they could. Maybe for good numbers or for whatever reason. But anyway, that professor actually had me stay another semester, and then ended up being probably one of the main reasons that I tried to stick it out for the next semester. And I ended up failing out that semester too. So there was a chance that I would have been at the same school doing something else if it hadn't been for that. But I don't blame him. But I'm like, bro, if you had just let me leave the engineering program, maybe I would have found something else at that school.
Right?
I don't know what I'm thinking. I feel like I want to complain about something like it wasn't my fault, but I know at the end of the day it was me not doing my schoolwork.
Yeah. I realized I didn't want to do what I had my major for anyways either. Like I had my major for interior design, like that's what I was going for.
Really cool.
But I realized I don't want to sit behind a computer all day, and that's what graphic. Wait, did I say interior design or graphic design?
You said interior.
Oh, I did graphic design. I want to switch to interior design. I was there for graphic design, and doing graphic design is just sitting in front of a computer most of the time. Interior design is like physically drawing with like a pencil and physically designing spaces, and like it's more like that type of, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't really feel like I'm in the graphic design. So like that made it even like less motivating to actually go to class and do these things. And I was just like, you know what? No.
Yeah,
and I just No.
It's like from a young age we tell everyone has their own speed, and then we get and then after high school it's like almost you should, for some reason there's like a shame attached to not wanting to go down that path, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's like maybe I think it'd be best if everyone took a year off after high school, or if most people took a year off
Right.
after high
I
school.
wanted to. My family pressured me not to
Yeah.
because they said I wouldn't want to go back. But
My parents said it was okay, and they I don't because I they worked out something so that they would be able to pay for my college. So it's not like I'm gonna complain about that for them. One of the problems with them was I failed out of my first year of college, and I had a $5,000 loan to my name, and then they had about a $20,000 loan to their name, and 2025 actually, I think it was 25. And when I got out, they actually I had been with Piper for like a year, and then or less than a year, and then they came to me and they said that they wanted me to pay the $25,000 loan. And I was fucking freaking out because first of all, the reason that they don't allow kids to take out $30,000 loans in their name is because they know that this might happen. So the $5,000 was the max amount that they could take out in my name. So it was shocking to me that mom and dad were trying to say that I need to pay $30,000 instead of $5,000. $5,000 already is kind of a strain.
that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how much I have to pay. It stresses me out.
I know, it stresses me out, and that was a bit of a shock. But I think what happened was they got it in their heads that first of all that I had agreed to do that, and that was the thing that, and we should talk about that too. How stupid are you at 18 years old? You know, you're
Right?
stupid. You're an idiot. You're
Smart.
literally just got out of high school. You think you know anything about the
Right.
world? You think you know how to pay finances? And then not only that, but
Right.
it's not like my parents ever taught me finances. So
I know.
so when you tell a kid, hey, you're going to be paying $5,000 off for the next 10 years, and that goes in one
Right.
year and out the next, and they go, I guess that'll work because you're telling
Like
me
I
it
haven't
is.
even paid taxes yet. Like what?
Yeah, and so it's like, what are you doing to these kids? But I don't blame my parents because like banks and stuff are saying this is going to work, and so they're just listening to the financial experts that they're listening to. But at the same time, it's like we as a society got to wake up to the idea that you're telling an 18-year-old how to do finances, and they're going to fail.
Yeah.
They're going to fail at this.
And I feel like it's just such a trap because especially for those people who go all the way through college, those student loans stick with you
Yeah.
for years.
And
my aunt, who's 45, just paid off her student loans for medical school, and that was 30 years ago or 20 years ago, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, like I feel like it's just a trap. You trap these young people who don't know what they're getting themselves into a huge financial like commitment, and then they're paying off until they're 50.
Yes,
oh my God.
And that's going to affect things like their relationships. It's going to affect their job security.
Much stress.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
The stress just to know that there's that shadow behind you at all times.
But then we're also to that point where if you don't have a degree, it's so hard to get a good paying job.
Yeah, it is.
Because everybody feels like they need a degree. So many more people are going to college.
Yeah.
So it's so much harder to get a good paying job
And then
if you don't have
and then they give jobs to people with degrees even though they're not actually better for the job. And that's the weird thing. Like I had that happen at my current job. Is like the boss stepped in and he didn't even actually know how to use any of the devices to move pallets of soda. It's like he doesn't even know how to move one pallet from one section over to the next section. That's like the most basic thing that you would know how to do it at a position where you're working with this kind of thing. And he got the job because he's really smart, and that's great. And maybe he can figure it out from that point on. But that does not mean that he's better suited for the job than someone else who worked at the company from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't me that was going to get his job, but it would have been somebody else. Yeah.
I was going to say, it sounds like you wanted that job.
No, I hate my job. I don't want to be in this business anymore. At a certain point, selling sugar water to people, it just doesn't really hit the spot anymore, you know?
Spelling sugar water?
I'm selling sugar water.
Selling sugar
That's
water.
what my job is. I'm moving it from one place in the back to the front, and it's not very fun. It pays well enough for me to live, but I don't want to do it for much longer.
Not very fulfilling.
What are you doing right now? You're
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I work at a private daycare preschool facility.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. And, oh my gosh, crazy day. Oh my God, because I just told my boss today that I'm like leaving.
How soon are you leaving? I forget.
I'm moving back. Huh?
How soon?
So I'm gonna be out of here by the 1st of March. because I stopped getting my financials. I get
Oh.
financial help until I turn 22, and it stops when I turn 22, and I turn 22 in March. So I won't be able to afford to pay rent here
Fuck.
anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm moving back to Sacramento.
Yeah.
I'm moving in with my sister to help her with baby, and yeah, but I I love the job I'm at, and I told my boss today, and she had no clue, and
Mm.
she was offering all kinds of things for me to like stay. She's like, well, if it's money's just the problem, like me and my husband can like help you with your first month's payment if you're trying to look for a new place, if that's the problem. I'm like, wow, I did not expect that offer, but
That's
okay.
cute.
And then she went right. And then she also offered to, she's like, we're also thinking about opening up a new location, and we need a teacher to live on site. So if that's something you want to do, we can get that ball in motion and have it, get a new school open where you can live and then have subsidized. And I was like,
That's
wow.
that's a really nice offer.
And like, so they really want to keep me. Um, but like, I don't really want to be in the city anymore. I love my job. That's the only reason why I'm here. But yeah, it's a private daycare place though. I take care of kids age 1 to 5. I've been the baby bear teacher for a while, taking care of the 1-year-olds, but I'm filling in for a teacher right now at our nature program, which is super fun. It was like an all outdoor program where like the kids get dropped off outside, get picked up outside. It's rain or shine. Like we're out there all day doing nature stuff, climbing trees, like looking for worms, like gardening, doing soccer and basketball and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's really fun. Basically get paid to play with kids all day. So
It was the dream job. Do you think you can find like a preschool or something to work at in Sacramento?
yeah, I want to either find a preschool or find just like a family to nanny for, like just a one private nanny.
Interesting. I can see you as a killer nanny.
Because private nannies make real good money,
Yeah.
especially because especially places like here in San Francisco, because these rich parents, they will pay up the butt to have good to have good childcare. Like they will, yeah, like they're very generous.
I don't know if is there like an organization for nannies, or do you just have to like find a family that'll hire you?
Just had to have to find a family. So like there's apps like care.com and stuff like that. And like if a family like hires you for like a day or something, if they really like you, like they can obviously reach out to you on the side and offer you a full-time job, like if they want to, you know what I mean?
Well, I know you won't have to worry because man, they'll want to keep you.
Recommendations from my current job, so I don't think I'll have a problem finding a child.
Right,
job.
I know. With your background, I'm sure that any family would be lucky to have you.
Yeah. Crazy enough, like my whole life, I've just been like, hey, art's my future. Like I said, interior design, graphic design. Like I've always been like, oh my gosh, like, yep, I'm gonna do something in art or whatever, because I do photography too. And but then like I finally got a childcare job because I kind of always wanted to do babysitting, because I was the youngest in the family and I never got to be around babies really until now, because my sister has a baby. But yeah, so I got this job and I like literally love it so much. I could see myself also like careering in childcare. Like I could definitely take care of kids for my whole life. Like
it's so interesting how people find like childcare.
It's so weird for me.
Yeah. It seems like nobody starts out life or like goes through high school wanting to do childcare, and then right after high school they're like, wow, actually that sounds really good. And you think about it and you're like, wow, that's a great job on every level. You know? I get to help
I'm
kids.
a giant 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm a giant.
We all are on the inside. There's a tiny little child in all of us.
Kids are so fucking cute and they're so innocent and oblivious to the world, and I'm just like, I just want to, you know, like my whole thing of why I like being with kids is because like if I could just be like the reason that a kid like is happy for like on any given day, like that's just like great, because you know, like when you're having a shitty day, like as a kid, like if someone makes you happy, like if you have an adult that like, you know, that you just like I had those adults in my childhood where I just loved them to death, and they like made me so happy every time I was around them. I'm just like, they were just the best people ever to me, and like I want to be that person to kids, like, you know,
you want to be the person they look up to,
you know? Yeah. And like literally my boss's children, they'll play pretend, and they'll pretend to be me. Like literally they'll pretend to be me, and my boss has told me this so many times. She's like, it's so cute, like they adore you, they love you. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not worried at all about you finding a nanny job. I'm sure you can do it.
Yeah,
whatever job you get, they'll love to have you.
If I don't, I mean, yeah, and even if I don't find a care job anyways, I have food experience and desk work experience. So I'm not
Always
really
good to
too.
have. Always good to have. Plus, like, I don't know. Did you have a serving job recently?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I had 3 jobs last year at once.
dude. Well, that's a lot, but at
But
least you did it.
yeah. I was working at a burger place for 2 years. It's called Super Duper Burgers, and they're super duper good. Um, they live up to the hype, they really do. But yeah, so I was an opener there. It was like a server type position thing. It wasn't like a full sit down restaurant.
Mm,
It was like an order at the front and we'll bring you your food type of
mm,
thing. Uh but no, yeah, so I do have serving experience, and I worked at a cupcake shop too.
mm.
But yeah,
Which had
that's only
delicious
3.
cookies that you brought to my
Yeah,
wedding.
yeah, for you. Yeah, I brought some to the wedding.
Which was
Well,
lovely.
they better be good, like
How
snap.
did you like our
Well,
wedding?
I liked it. It was really cute. It
Yeah.
was really rustic and cute. I liked it. I like when weddings are in the trees like that because the pictures always turn out really pretty.
Yeah.
And I like the little log stage that you guys were at.
Thank
It was
you.
really cute.
Did you like the unity ceremony?
Yes, that was
The
cute.
sourdough starters.
It was the braiding.
The sourdough starters.
Oh yeah, you were okay.
Yeah.
Sammy did the
Sammy
braiding.
did the braiding,
thingy.
yeah.
That was Sammy. You did the sourdough
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
That was cute.
We-
I was like, wow, I've never seen that at a wedding before. It was cute.
Yeah, we thought of that when we were looking at the spot, actually.
Mhm. That's
It
awesome.
was so nice seeing you there, and you look so good. You look so happy.
Thank you. Yeah, that was like my first time ever coming around the family in a dress like that, I think.
Yeah.
And,
Very
like, I think it was like the first time since you guys had seen me all since I lost a bunch of weight too.
Interesting.
Like, it was so funny. I remember Sammy and Woo, like, they hadn't seen me since their wedding, and I was like, and they were like, Bree, like, you look so different. You look like opposite. Because, like, I was so anti-pink and anti-dresses and anti-feminine and anti-heels and everything. And I had a pink dress and heels on.
Yeah.
And I had, like, I was looking all girly and shit. And they were like, Bree!
You were killing it.
But, yeah. I felt it was a moment. I liked it.
It was so nice seeing you, and then you brought the cookies, and then you stayed with us afterward, which was really fun for the little after thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How was handling?
We
How
got so drunk.
I know how was handling me at the end, because everybody watched me puke everywhere. So
Y'all were all a hot mess. You were cracking me
it
up.
was fun though. It was really fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. I
wish I could have been drunk with you guys, but I had to drive, so I
that's
couldn't.
right, too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, oh my god, I wonder when the next wedding's gonna be. Oh wait, it's gonna be Jeremy's.
Oh, Jeremy, they're engaged? That's right. Do you know what the time zone is for that?
I think they said like summer 2022
Okay.
or like spring
Pretty far,
or
but
something
alright.
like that.
Good for him.
Like in a year and a half.
So a year from this summer.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
How is your dad handling that? Do you know? Or your parents?
Our whole family all kind of has our own opinions on it. I don't know. It's been kind of a weird situation.
Is this a COVID thing or
because-
just not related?
Huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
To like about Bree and Jeremy.
Yeah, Brianna.
Yeah.
Same name as you, which is interesting.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then oh my gosh, I told you last time, so let me say it again. So it's so weird because so I'm Brianna. Her name's Brianna. She has natural red hair. I have the fake red hair. And she has a cat named Nala, and I have a dog named Nala. And I'm just like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, Jeremy, what'd you do?
Wedding? Yeah. Oh my, no, literally, like, I'm not even shitting you. To your wedding, did you notice we were dressed the exact fucking same? Like we both had like the same color high heels on, the same colored type of dress, and we had our hair down, and we looked the fucking same. And I was like, oh my god, like I cannot.
That is so funny.
I mean, like, she's great, but like,
Yeah, of course, she's not lovely. It's funny because
but no, our family all kind of has our own opinions on it. Like we've gone back and forth on our opinion of her because of certain things, and everyone has their own reasons of why. But now that they're like engaged, we're all trying to be supportive. At first we were all kind of freaking out. We're like, oh my god, we got to intervene. We got to do some.
Too
But
young, or what would be the
Jeremy
reason?
has really he's really stood firm, and he's like
Hmm.
he's like reached out to us individually saying he's like, I just want to let you guys know that I am happy, and like this is what I want,
Hmm.
and this is like because we were concerned, we were like we
Hmm.
didn't want them to get together because we were afraid that like he wasn't happy because they broke up for a little bit, and there was this whole
I
thing.
see. You were just worried
But
about him.
so like yeah, and me and him have had conversations about it because I want to be supportive,
Hmm.
but I like it's been like a little shaky. But no, we're good, doing better, so it's good.
Hmm.
She just spent the week with us in Idaho, so like we spent a lot of
Nice.
time together.
I think that's really what it comes down to with relationships, especially in-laws. It's like you definitely need to spend some time with them, do something with them. I feel like I could get to know Sammy's husband really a lot better if we like had some more time to hang out. And we did a podcast,
I
but it was
love
only okay.
Blue. He's
Hmm.
great.
What was that?
I said I love
I
Blue.
do too.
He's great.
Yeah, he is. She literally couldn't have married someone that's more different than me.
Literally.
But he's such a great guy that I'm so happy for her, you know?
It's so funny. Yeah, you're so right. He is completely different. It's hilarious.
His speech at my wedding was great, man.
It was awesome.
Really lit a fire under everybody. Anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about your brother, your family, dealing with
Yeah,
that
my
situation.
brother and the family.
How did your family react to me getting married? Your side,
Hmm?
like your dad and all them.
Oh my gosh, my mom was so funny. She's like, Jacob's getting married. Like Jacob has a girlfriend. I was like, yeah, mom. I'm like, I know, because when you first got a girlfriend, me and we were all like, oh my god, Jacob has a girlfriend. Because you like never talked about girls ever. Like I feel
Yeah.
like when we were growing up, you never talked about girls. You never
Mm.
had a girlfriend. Well, and all of us wondered when you went to college. We're like, we wonder if Jacob's gonna be, like go putting some game down on these ladies up here. You know what I mean? And then you got a girlfriend. And we're like, yeah, Jacob. And then
And
yeah,
then I married her.
married, and we're like, yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I know.
My mom was all excited.
I think.
Yeah, my mom was excited. She's like, that's so good for him.
Yeah.
I was like, I know.
I don't know where my head was in high school. Like why I think it was just like I was so afraid back then to like, be open in any way. And like
Females.
well, no, it wasn't that. It was like it was just I was so afraid to be open and like really express anything really at all.
Understandable.
And then through a lot of things, especially my relationship with religion, I realized that was stupid. That was stupid. Not being my authentic self, being the person I actually want to be, and like being critical of myself, but not overly critical. Like allowing myself to make mistakes is also important.
Right. Like I wish I was this person back in high
Right,
school.
me too.
My high school experience would have been so different if I was this person back in high school.
I started becoming more of the person I am now, which is a much looser person. I would say about junior year of high school, and that's when I started. I dated a couple people. I had some really good friendships, and that really helped me come out of my shell a lot. But I really think that
senior years when I started to come out of my shell.
Yeah. And even that was nothing compared to when I actually went to college, and I actually was able to experience some freedom that I had never had before at that point.
Once you get that taste of freedom, it's like, oh my god, I have a life that I can do with what I want. Great.
I guess speaking of religion, since I really do like to talk about this kind of stuff, because I feel like this is the moment where I want to talk to someone about religion. With my family who I know loves me, who I know will tell me this is done when it needs to be done. Without any judgments. Do you? And I know I already talked with you about it. Do you believe in God?
I do, but I have like my own personal battles with it, and I go back and forth. Like I do believe in God, or like I even question just saying that. Like I believe in like religion. I feel like there is some kind of higher power, but I don't know, because I don't know. I was raised in the church, and I do get like emotional. Like I feel like when I'm listening to this Christian music, and I'm like I feel all the emotions, and I'm just like, I feel it, and I'm just like, I don't know, is it real? Is it not? But like, there's just so many things that I was raised on, like that I was taught when I was raised, like learning things from the Bible that just make 0 sense, and like, and that I just like literally cannot wrap my head around. But then like stuff like about like evolution and stuff, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, and like all the people in church, they always say like they're gonna teach you in school about evolution, and but don't listen,
Yeah,
well, like
basically.
that's all lies, like God created the earth, like don't listen, blah blah blah, and like the earth is only like my church, the church teaches it that the earth's only 6,000 years old, and I'm just like,
These
what?
things are rough
Like
to
they're like,
believe.
yeah, dinosaurs were here 6,000 years ago, and I was like,
It's like
what?
it's not like it's not like I'm hating you for saying that. It's just like you do realize that it doesn't seem like the scientific
Like
community can
how
support you.
improbable that
Yeah,
is.
it's like I
Yeah,
don't have a problem with you believing it. It's just I don't know why you are so
yeah,
hardcore in this direction. It just doesn't
yeah.
support what you're
So
saying.
yeah. So I feel like a good answer to your question then is that I believe
Uh,
in Christian values,
okay.
and I believe in like things like that, like being a good person, like how a Christian should be a good person
Mhm.
and like have good morals and good values and things like that. Like I believe in that aspect of it, but I don't know. I just question other things, and I don't know. I consider myself Christian, but
It's a
I
struggle.
don't know. I still got to go on my little religious journey and figure it out for
Mm.
myself still, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
I
But
I
and like my sister, she just like recently rededicated her life too, and she was all talking to me about it, and I was like, and it makes me think about it, and like some like literally sometimes like it's crazy because like I have like these religious experiences sometimes. I remember like about 2 years ago, I was just like, I was like on my phone, and I just literally burst into tears crying for
Mm.
no reason, and just had the overwhelming like inclination to like drop to my knees and pray because I
Mm.
was in my room, and I was like literally just on my phone sitting there, and I just started bursting crying and just instantly felt like I needed to drop to my knees and pray, and I was like, what? And I hadn't prayed in like a year, and I was like, that was random as
Yeah.
fuck. And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, is God trying to talk to me? And then it makes me feel like, okay, there is a God. Yeah, yeah. But then I do all these other things and I go back and forth. And I don't know. I'm just so back and forth. I
Mm.
don't know.
It's such a hard question, and it's like I don't
Mm-hmm.
expect anyone to ever truly get an amazing answer which they're 100% satisfied. That's for some people, but it's for most people it's like the best you're going to get is be comfortable with where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I envy. I want to be comfortable with what I believe. And since coming away from Christianity, I feel like I've become slightly more comfortable. So that
Mm-hmm.
is something that I'm happy about. And so that change so
Mm-hmm.
far has been positive, and I hope that that stays the same. But oh man, I was so I was definitely passionately Christian for so long, and that's where I was raised, so that's kind of what's expected, you know,
Same.
from
Yeah.
my home and stuff. So the struggle to set that aside was really hard, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously you're gonna go through your own struggles. The the whole thing is like I've talked to you. It's like comes down to why the gay thing? Why? How can you tell me that that's as bad as any sin, as bad as murder, as bad as any of those
Mm-hmm.
of theft or anything like that? I don't see how liking dick and ass is that bad. Because
Right.
like technically, even in a straight relationship, if you do that, that's actually a sin, the same as if you're gay. Which is like, I don't see why I should regret that if we both do it happily, you know, or do something like that.
Right.
It's like I don't understand why people are so willing to look past that obvious
Mm-hmm.
stupidity, even though the rest. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
religion is great and it does so many wonderful things, but
Yeah.
that itself
There's
is
also a lot of dumb shit in the Bible too.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like it also says, you know what? It also says that's a sin in the Bible to wear clothing of two different
yeah,
threads
yeah.
or something.
And
So
Christians have
like,
like their
so
answers, but
so you got some cotton and
yeah,
polyester shirt, you're sinning.
yeah.
Like, you know, like if like
It's
what? Like
wild.
there's
Okay,
some dumb.
it's wild to me that Christians happily believe that
Hmm?
all. It's wild to me that Christians believe that basically, by default, all Jews go to hell. You know what I'm saying? As a Christian, you have to
Yeah.
believe in the resurrection of Jesus. So you're saying that that
Mhm.
all Jewish people who which was what
Right.
Jesus
I
was
thought about
is
that when I
actually
was little
going
too, because
is
like they don't believe the Christ
exactly.
came, that there was a first
So
coming of
if you
Christ
deny
yet. So
Jesus, you're as bad as any other sinner. So Christians actually by default believe that Jews are going to hell, which is terrible. It's terrible. It's like what the hell? I mean, obviously, I don't believe in
Well,
any of it.
technically, we believe that every other religion is going to
Right,
hell
exactly.
because they
Hmm.
believe in false
Yeah,
gods and
exactly.
false idols,
Yeah, and it's kind of sad to me
which
because
is
it's like
crazy.
I texted my dad the other day. I texted him.
And majority of Christians are white people.
Yeah, I guess. Actually, that's not true because it's getting really popular in China. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
actually,
like
yeah,
it's
you.
blowing up or something over there. So very soon, even if that is the case now, it might not be forever because it's really blowing up. Um,
Mhm,
because actually, China's allowing the religion to spread finally. I just heard
mhm.
about that recently. I'm. uh,
That's interesting. That's
what
cool.
was I saying? Fuck, I forgot what were we talking about. I
I'm a little, I'm a little intoxicated, so
me as well.
my train of thought is a little. Mhm, mhm.
What was I saying? I totally forgot I was talking about God and I
Yes.
like the Jordan. Do you know Jordan Peterson?
No.
You don't know Jordan Peterson? Okay, you should Jordan Peterson. You should definitely look him up. He's got some really good lectures. It's boring, but if you have some time and you're like driving, uh,
Yeah.
look up his lectures on Pinocchio, where he breaks down the Pinocchio movie, the Disney movie, and like tells
I
you,
like the morals of
yeah,
it.
breaks it down like it's a story that he's like a mythology that he's breaking down about what all
Hmm.
these characters mean and like what they're doing and why
Hmm.
it's important. And it's a really
Yeah.
great like in-depth study of Pinocchio. And if you're happy with that, then you can listen to his in-depth study of the Bible, which is him from
Hmm.
an evolutionary biologist perspective going over everything he thinks that the Bible means. So it's really interesting because most of it's psychology, which is what he is. He's a
Hmm.
psychologist. And
Hmm.
he's way smarter
Wow.
than I'll ever be, but definitely something that I look up to.
Yeah. What's his name?
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. Okay.
Hmm.
I'll look that up.
Really great guy. And
Yes.
I feel like Christianity's got to kind of get up to speed with what he believes if it actually wants to survive.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've had such a struggle with it, especially being of the queer community.
Mm,
Growing up, I've always struggled with it because my family's very traditional Southern Baptist,
mm,
like all these fags can rot in hell type of people. Like
mm,
I've gone back and forth. I'm like, at points I was like, what's wrong with me? Like I'm an abomination because
mm.
that's what it says in the Bible. I'm an abomination. And I'm just
Such
like,
a rough
but
thing.
then I had to like get myself out of that mindset because that was such a negative headspace
Mm,
to be in. So I was just like, and it just makes me go back and forth. And I'm just like,
mm.
I don't know. I don't know.
And it's the kind of thing where like I almost wish that I made sure that everybody had these conversations, but it's such a personal thing that maybe it's okay to have that inner turmoil for a while so you can come to like a better understanding of yourself. And like
Hmm.
and know that when you come out of it and you're solid in your beliefs, at least then you'll have solid beliefs that you can lean on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
once you go through the turmoil of having to question yourself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It took me quite a few years to like really like make sure that I was really queer. Like I had to
Interesting.
really like think about it. And
Good
like
for you.
I was like, do I just think I'm queer because I've never kissed anyone?
Mm,
Like, do I just think I like girls because no guys have ever liked me? Like I've
mm.
gone through that, and
I'm sure you don't have to deal with that anymore.
yeah. But then I was really like, nope, like I really do like girls. I'm like,
Mm,
yep, that's really am a thing because I talked to other people and they were like, straight girls, it would never cross their mind to ever like, you know what I
mm.
mean? Like it would just never cross their mind. And I'm like, okay, it
That's
definitely has
really
crossed their mind
interesting.
since I was
Hmm.
little.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I've always called myself, and this is just the joke that it's not really anything. It's like, I suppose you could call me 95% straight because I'm open to a devil's three-way. You know
Oh
what I
well.
mean? It's like, I guess
Yeah.
technically if I'm willing to be naked in the same room as a man, then, then that counts. But I've never
I feel
really,
like nobody's all the way straight or
yeah,
all
I
the
agree.
way gay.
I agree.
Everyone's it's a spectrum.
95 is more of a
It's a
joke. I
spectrum.
would say it's
No.
about 95. And it fluctuates a little bit, but like at the end of the day, everyone's kind of you have to accept that
I'm
there's
like half straight.
there's like you're like half straight. There's like I don't know how to
Get it?
explain
It's
it.
good in there.
It's like I guess sexuality is easily described as like a spectrum. Like most people
It
are
is.
on the towards the straighter side, I guess, but like there's a whole lot of other places you can be at on that spectrum.
Yeah. Because there's also like flaming gay people. Like,
Mm,
because there's also gay people who would also never, ever, ever have any kind of straight relations. Like a gay guy would never ever fuck a girl. Like there's some gay guys who are like that, but then there's some gay guys
2020s.
who are like, well, like I would like it would have to be like with it, like this girl, or like it would like only be in a certain thing. Like so they're like, oh, I'm like 80% gay and like 20% straight. You know what I mean? Like so, but the same thing. Like you could be 80% straight, but you would like fuck the same sex if it was this person. You know what I mean?
If it was Ryan Reynolds and he told me to turn around and bend over, then well, there's nothing I can do. I gotta do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds, the dreamboat for everybody.
He's so fine.
I'm excited for whatever else he's in next, Deadpool 3.
Oh my god, wait, is there really gonna be another one? I just watched the Deadpools last week, and there's
it hasn't been announced yet, but if I eventually
he's a legend.
Oh yeah,
he's iconic.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good.
Okay, last big question for tonight then.
Okay.
Last time we talked about politics, so let's talk about it again. Politically, you said you're not as conservative, but you grew up conservative.
More liberal, right. For sure.
Right. So what would you say you are on?
Okay, so I would definitely say I'm more liberal, but I do have some like conservative views. Like there's very few things that I share the same opinion on things as conservatives, but I'm obviously anti-Trump, like, but I'm the only one in my family on like my mom's side. I don't know about our like on my dad's side, like on our Reyes side. I don't know if our families are Trump supporters. Is your parents vote for
Trump? Okay. So this, yes.
My whole family voted for Trump. Other than me, my whole family did.
My dad did. Yes, for sure. I'm not sure about mom, but I'm pretty sure yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't vote, and Piper voted Biden.
Both times, and I didn't get to vote against him the first election, so I sure as hell did it this election. Yeah, it's super easy to see why people hate him. I mean, I've never really been able to pull myself to that point. I literally can't even understand why people like him. I literally don't.
He's Republican.
He's just a bad person, regardless of his presidency. He's just a shit human being. Like he's just
rude, the problem is
sexist and racist as fuck, and a liar. Like literally a psychotic liar or whatever the fuck. Like I saw this statistic where he said, like, I think they said like 25,000 false statements in his presidency, in his first term. 25,000 false statements. Like, are you shitting me? Yeah. Like, oh my god. Yeah. Like he averages a false statement every couple minutes.
Yeah, no, he's an idiot. It's kind of obvious. I don't understand why people love him.
I really don't understand. Like, he's just a terrible human being. Why do you want a terrible human being to represent the U.S.? Yeah. Now the U.S. is a joke to the rest of the world. The rest of the world does not take it seriously whatsoever.
I think for the problem for me, okay, so I hate Trump. I don't know if hate is the right word. I feel like I'm more negative than neutral because it's kind of ridiculous at this point. And that's not even really a question. But the problem that I always have is everyone hates him so much that I think they miss the other fact that people voted for Trump. And that's not because he's Trump, because he's Republican. And so all the Republicans are like, I don't know what else to do because I'm not voting for a liberal. I want to vote for the Conservative Party, and there's only two options. So, of course, I'm going to vote for Trump. And it's just wild to me that more people don't see that you cannot hate the Trump voter, mostly because of that reason. And it maybe that sucks for you because you like the liberal views. But
some people genuinely vote for him just because of his politics. And I don't really care as much about a politician's politics. Yeah.
Well, he's not a politician.
Well, if they're a shit person and to begin with, then I don't care about their politics. I don't like them. If they're a good person, yeah, I'll look at their politics and give a shit about their politics. But like,
that's really interesting.
You
know, I think for the most part that I don't think we know enough about him as individuals in society to really say some of the stuff that we say about him. It's like I see that you don't like him as you think he's a douche, and that's really makes sense. I do think he's a douche as well. However, the amount of hatred towards Trump is way more than I think that he actually deserves. It is bad, like he does deserve it, but at the same time, people get so heated when talking about him. It's almost as if they I don't know. It's just like they lose.
I literally can't even talk about him with my family because I
Yeah.
get so livid. It's literally the only topic that gets me heated that quick.
Yeah, and
Like
I don't follow
talking about.
politics enough to really bring up any specific examples. It's just that's the general
I choose
vibe I
not
get.
to follow politics
Yeah.
right now specifically because of him.
Yeah.
Because it'll just make
Yeah.
me really mad.
Were you happy with Biden? Like when he became the
No, I don't
president
like
elect?
Biden either.
Yeah.
I feel like the general consensus, especially here in San Francisco, was that not that Biden was the answer necessarily, but that Trump is not the answer.
Trump's not the answer.
So like everyone is pretty much disagreed. Like we don't love Biden, but we got to
guess.
get Trump out
Barely.
of there. So we're gonna vote for Biden.
Yeah.
Like and that's kind of what I did because Biden's not my favorite. He's literally losing his mind.
Yeah.
He's literally has a degenerative mental thing. He has like Alzheimer's or something.
He's just
where
old.
He's like forgetting.
He's just old.
And like
that's really it. That's what I
yeah.
think it is. He's old.
Like if you listen to some of his speeches, you literally have no clue what he's talking about. I've you can listen to it and he just goes in circles and talks about random things and it's like what? He sounds like he's literally losing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so I don't really like Biden either, but I just think literally if we would have had Trump for 4 more years, I don't even know what I would have done. Oh my god.
I think for the memes it would have been funny, but I'm kind of glad that it's over.
I think it's just so unhealthy for them. Like this is the most polarized the American public has been since the whole time I've been alive. I've never felt this much tension between the sides before.
Yeah.
Like obviously Republicans and Democrats don't like each other, but I feel like I've never felt this much tension and like hate between the sides. You know what I mean? And like I feel like Trump has just brought out the worst in American people. It has brought out the worst side of America's history and America's people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Trump brought out bad in everybody, everyone on his side as well as the other side. Everyone's digging their heels in and saying, "I actually believe in this thing, but that thing is stupid and broken and corrupt, and it's not going to bring us together like we want it to, and we keep leaning on it like it's going to." Like Republicans can't lean on Republican Party, but to get unity, and the Democrats can't lean on the Democrats. It's like
I think Biden was just the safer
he was
answer to try and get some like peace for the American people, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I feel like there's just been so much tension. I feel like we just need some.
What would you say are the main things you vote about? The president himself. So the president theirself, and then what would be the main issues after that you would vote for?
But the big issues that I care about, my number one is global warming because I think it's complete and utter bullshit that the President of the United States pulled out of the Green Deal thingy that we had with the other countries.
Agreed.
And because it's literally because if there's no fucking planet to live on, what does it matter what countries or what money you have, because there's not going to be a fucking planet. So I think it should be the number one priority, obviously with coronavirus too, but like that should also be up there. But so global warming, pro-choice, queer right, like obviously queer positive queer rights, and I'm also like, I think people should be allowed to have their guns though. Also, that's my one conservative view. I'm like, if you want a gun, I think you should be able to have your gun as long as you're not crazy and as long as you pass like checks and aren't just gonna kill random people, obviously. But like, I think if you need a gun and want a gun, I think you should be able to have one. That's my one thing that's like doesn't align with the rest of my liberal views, but yeah, those are pretty much my big ones: global warming, pro-choice, queer friendly.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because those are some big stuff, Yeah, that's lovely. I would love to keep this going, but I just really wanted to probably stop here and then
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize it's already been an hour and 15. Wow, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. I'm really thankful that you were able to be a part of this. I feel like if we're gonna help society through this steadfast that we got going on, where no one's talking to each other, the only way forward is for us to have conversations with people about the tough subjects, And I'm really thankful that you were willing to take part of it. And I'm sorry
Of
the
course.
first one got lost, and it was amazing. And I still have your audio. Maybe one day I'll dub myself on the other side of the conversation. But
Yeah.
until that day, it's just gonna be lost in the nether. Ugh. But thank you so much
That's
for being a
okay.
part of
That's
both.
okay. It was just some cousin bonding time. That's what it was.
It
That's
was,
what it was.
and that was really good too. That was just as good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Then that's signing off. Thank you very much.